Hello everybody, welcome back to IELTS Master. This is video number 18 and we are still going to explore more about the listening skill. The topic for today is gonna be nature and in particular the zoo. We will listen to a few students discussing the zoo and they are doing a project about the zoo, how the zoos actually help in the preservation of the animals and help the science and acts as entertainment for people all over the world. Do you often go to the zoo? Well, I often go to the zoo. It's my favorite place. Even for dates, I take my girlfriends to the zoo all the time. I don't know why, maybe I just love the animals. Okay, now in terms of the skills today, we will take a look at first, extended multiple choice questions. And secondly, summary completion. Alright, we have done multiple choice question, A, B, C, D, we did that. But today we're going to take a look at another form of multiple choice. It has more options and you are going to have to choose more options. Alright, now for example, what I have here is an example of an extended multiple choice question. Alright. For question 1, 2, 3, you're going to have to choose 3 letters from A to G. Any one of these, and in the answer sheet you write them in any order. You can write A, B, C, or C, B, A, or A, C, B. That makes no difference. And for questions 4 and 5, you do the same thing. You choose 2 letters from A to E, and you write them in any order as well. Now before we start listening, I want you to take a look at the question. So, what topics must the assignment cover? 3 topics you're gonna choose, right? And second, which areas do the students decide to concentrate their efforts on? That means they have a lot of topics to cover, but what will they focus on? They're gonna work hard on which 2? Now, I want you to start listening and choose the correct answers for this. This is a challenging one, so listen very attentively. Okay, here we go.
Hello Brenda, how are you doing?
Fine. I've just come over to talk about this assignment on the function of zoos. Oh, hello Charles.
Hello Brenda, that's good. I've just been in the library looking at some stuff. I think Adrian's been on the web.
Yes, I have.
Well, that's great. What have you found out about zoos?
I've been looking into the history, both of zoos and of keeping animals generally.
I didn't think we had to do that.
Yes, it was one of the topics we had to research. We definitely need to cover it, even if only briefly, I think. After all, people have kept animals for recreation and pleasure for centuries. The ancient Egyptians kept collections of animals, and of course the Romans kept animals for recreation.
Ah, the Romans. That brings us to the general question of the treatment of animals and the mistreatment of them.
Yes, but that's not our topic. We've been told to keep off that. Now, where were we?
Our assignment is concerned with the purposes of zoos in general and in our modern era. We have to cover the history, but not in great depth. Our main focus is the scientific aspects of zoos and the work they do for conservation and so on.
We mustn't forget the question of who pays for them. Zoos are hugely expensive places to run nowadays. There are the costs of feeding the animals, obviously, and security for the animals and the public. What happens if they escape and so on? We have to ask what benefits we get from this.
Adrian, I don't think you'll find we have to do that kind of thing at all.
But I've been looking into all that and the social benefits of zoos.
But what I mean is, that's not part of this assignment. All this financial and safety stuff is not necessary. We should stick to their purposes. Now, what have you found out, Charles?
Well, I discovered that the World Association of Zoos and Aquariums was very helpful on this. I've got their website address here somewhere. I found out about the scientific research that zoos do. The other thing we should cover is the educational side of their work.
The educational side is pretty obvious. I've got lots of stuff here about this and more references to websites and information. There's also the area of entertainment. What about that?
He's got a point. I think we need to do some more research on that.
Fine, but it sounds like we've covered the history and science angles pretty well.
I agree. Let's leave those for now and plan some more study on the entertainment stuff.
And let's do some more work on the conservation element.
Alright, the listening that we have just listened to is a little challenging because, well, these are students and they are discussing ideas. Some of them mentioned the zoo finances, some of them mentioned the safety and even the animal welfare, but the problem is some of them were off the topic because the assignment was to focus on the history of the zoo, the education and the scientific aspect of it. Alright, we need to listen attentively. We say, no, we didn't have to do that really, it's not part of the assignment and the finances was not chosen. And then toward the end of the whole recording, they say that they're going to work more on entertainment and make more efforts on the conservation aspect of that. So we're going to choose C and D for questions 4 and 5. Alright, this type of question is called extended multiple choice. In order to do it better, you're going to have to do more practice. Alright, and pay attention as you are listening. Now let's go to the next part. We have a little summary completion to make. This is actually very simple. For summary completion, always remember to identify keyword before you start listening. Now let's do this together. For example, you've got the Arabian oryx, maybe. Now it's mainly what in color. So here, I think we need a color, right? Now it lives in a what climate? Cold, warm or temperate climate. Number 8, in what it became extinct. Maybe a year or maybe a century. Now there are about how many in Oman? And a crash in the population was caused by, what caused the crash in the population? What reduced their population? Now let's listen to the second one and find out the answer. Here we go.
Oh yes, the Arabian oryx is a classic case.
The what?
The Arabian oryx. It's like a deer, but white. That is, it has a white body, but brown legs, and long curved horns. It normally lives in the hot desert in the Arabian Peninsula. Anyway, in the 70s, the population declined, and in 1972, the last wild oryx was shot and it became extinct in the wild. There were a few left in zoos in the United States where there was a captive breeding program. This was so successful that in 1982, a small population was reintroduced into the wild. Hunting of wild animals was made illegal, and there are now about 300 in Oman.
Oh.
Although there was a big problem there, I believe. The population went up to about 450 in the 90s, and then illegal hunting did take place. The population crashed again, and the programs had to be restarted. But that's been successful, and there are now, I believe, as you say, several hundred in the wild. This is all available on the websites that Adrian has noted.
There was a similar program in Saudi Arabia, and I think there are hundreds in the desert there now.
We can use that as a definite success story.
And what have you found out?
Yes, what have you come up with?
I'm going to the library now.
Good.
Alright, so we had a little talk about the Arabian oryx. And basically it said it has a white body, so mainly white in color. The body is the biggest part, right? It must be white. They live in hot desert climate, so basically you just need the word hot, that's enough. Hot climate. 1972, the last one was killed. But now they were brought back, and there are 300 in Oman. The population was raised a little bit. But then illegal hunting took place. Illegal hunting. People went hunting for these oryx, and then the population crashed. So the answer is going to be illegal hunting. Okay, that's it. For summary completion, just follow the keyword and follow with the course of the whole recording, and you're going to be able to do this very well. Now, in this short video, we were talking about summary completion and extended multiple choice questions. In order to be better, you really have to do more practice. Pay attention, underline the keyword, and keep listening. Practice day by day. Do the exercises that follow in order to enhance your listening capability. Thank you for now, and I'm going to see you in the next video, number 19. We'll continue to discover listening.